Hey, it is Erin, and tonight I'm coming to you from my floor. And I'm doing it for a reason, because today was a really, really rough day for me. I've been trying to stay positive and hopeful and optimistic, but today got the best of me. I struggle with anxiety and depression, and I have since I was in my early 20s. I've been medicated for it since my mid 20s. In the past couple of years, I've tried to wean myself off the medication and come up with better, more natural ways to control my fear and my panic. Sometimes I do well with that, sometimes I don't. But the one hint that everyone around me knows is that when stuff gets to be a lot of a lot, because I can take a lot, I'm a pretty strong chick, but when stuff gets to be a lot, I have this weird habit of just sitting on the floor, no matter where I am. I've sat on the floor of car dealerships, I've sat on the floor of Best Buy, and I just sit there because I'm so completely overwhelmed. I don't even know what to do next. Like, I don't have a logical thought in my head that says, you should do this, you should do that. So I just sit on the floor and I wait for someone to tell me what to do. And I had that moment today. I've been staying in my little town of 475 people. And my town looks different, but it doesn't look like there's a pandemic going on. And today I had to go into a bigger town. And in this town, it looks like there's a pandemic going on. Now, let me first say, I get the severity of this. Like, I understand. It is not lost on me, but I haven't really seen it yet. So I walk into Deerberg's, the grocery store, and it just looks freaky. Like, there's hand sanitizers everywhere, and there's Lysol wipes to wipe off your cart, and there's tape on the floor so you know how far you're standing from people. There's sneeze guards by the cashiers, and I'm walking down aisle 6, and this couple's coming towards me, and they both have these really big masks on, and then they have scarves around their mask, and then they have gloves on, and I went into one of the worst panic attacks that I have ever had. I started going numb in my feet. It started going up my legs. It got to my chest where I felt a really strong tightness in my chest, which then made me think I'm having trouble breathing, which I was, which is also a sign of corona. And I completely spiraled, and I just let go of the cart and I sat on the floor. And no one came near me, because why would they? It looks really weird when you do it. But I didn't know what to do. So I called my doctor's office. I explained the situation, and my doctor said, let's do a FaceTime call real quick. So we get on FaceTime, and I said, I know I've been trying to wean off my medicine, but I really need it. I need you to prescribe me something and make it stronger than before. And she said, I'm going to call you in Prozac and Xanax right now. And as soon as she said that, I started to feel better, because to me, that was someone telling me, like, okay, don't worry, there's a solution for you. Go ahead and get up off the floor. And I got off the floor and went on with my day, got my medication, got home, and I'm feeling a lot better now. Have not taken my medication yet, but I'm going to tonight. And I tell you this story for 2 reasons. The first one is, if you are someone who has dealt with mental illness in the past, or maybe you haven't, but you're starting to feel sad now, or confused now, or hopeless, or despair, or any of those horrible emotions that come along with things like this, please, please, please reach out now before you get past a point where it's hard to pull yourself back in. And don't be embarrassed about it, and don't be ashamed, and don't let the stigma of mental health weigh you down. Like, do what you need to do to make sure you're mentally healthy during this whole process too. And the second thing is, I'm a really big believer in taking 22 minutes a day to do something just for you, to better yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. And today, what I want all of you to do is I want you to spend 22 minutes sitting on the floor, both literally and metaphorically. because I know that all of you out there right now, you're holding on to some really heavy shit. Like you are. You probably have guilt for things. You're scared. You're nervous. You're in pain. You're anxious. You're trying to hold it together. You're trying to be brave. You're trying to be productive. And I imagine it's probably eating a lot of you up. And you've got to be able to get that out. Because if you don't, you will literally just explode. Think about it as a balloon. You can only blow it up so far before you have to let the air out so you can start over again. If you just keep blowing air into it and pumping air into it, eventually it's going to explode and be useless moving forward. So I want you to sit on the ground tonight, and I want you to cry, or I want you to yell, or I want you to scream, or I want you to kick, or I want you to do that really weird laugh that is making you feel better, but other people think it's creepy and scary. Or pet your dog, or paint your toenails, or read a book. I don't care. But for 22 minutes, I just want you to let go of everything that you've been holding in. And after you do that, I want you to stand up. And I promise you, you're going to feel so much lighter. We all have so much going on. We're thinking about taking care of our family, taking care of our finances, taking care of our kids' education, but we have to remember we have to take care of us too. So don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed, and every once in a while, just sit on the ground and let it all out. Because then it makes it a whole lot easier to get up and make it the best day ever. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay home, and most importantly, try to stay positive, even if you need medication to do it.